Hi friends, this is Krish the Urban Naxal, and today again we are going to talk about another aspect of how to get your token back, how to get your booking amount back, and what is the legal reasoning behind that. See friends, I've explained to you earlier repeatedly that your right is the same as the builder's. Now the builder is a company, an LLP, firm, sometimes a partnership or an individual or a group of persons who have just come together in an informal arrangement or a partnership or with a joint development agreement, etc. They are a group of persons. You are a single individual person, or you and your wife may form another group of persons who are purchasing the flat. But their right is the same as your right. You and they are on the same footing. You are equal in the eyes of law. In spite of this, they create a situation by making you fill up an application form and giving them a fat token in return for nothing but promises. Actually, not even promises. Because if you look at their application form, they say, we are not even giving you a promise. We are not even giving you an assurance of anything, of any kind. You have no legal title, you have no claim whatsoever. We can sell the flat even if you have taken your booking amount. We can do anything we like until and unless we have signed an agreement, a registered agreement. Now they are saying this in the application form, and it's a fact. It is exactly the fact. In spite of that, they say, oh, but we will forfeit your booking amount. For what? If there is no relationship, if there is no contractual obligation on the part of the builder, if there is no claim from you to the builder, what is the builder forfeiting your money for? Where is the basis for him to forfeit your money? Now, they invent all kind of lies. They say, oh, you're causing loss to the builder because you booked a flat and we had reserved the flat for you, and another purchaser came along and you caused a loss because that other purchaser was sent away. And that's bullshit. That's bullshit because every builder has loads of inventory. In fact, they tell you there is a scarcity of inventory. There are only one or two inventories. That's a lie. They create this whole illusion that you have to buy today, you have to buy right now, pay, swipe your token right now, pay your money right now, otherwise you are losing a golden opportunity. You are going to lose the opportunity of a lifetime and you will never be happy afterwards because you lost that one opportunity that you had in life to do something good and to have your dream house. Please friends, stay away from this nonsense of the dream house. However, today we are going to talk about a different aspect of this situation. How to come out of the situation if you have already entered into the situation. Now let me explain the situation. It's a very common situation. Literally scores of people or even hundreds of people per day are entering into a situation where they are going to lose their money, not get anything in return. And how much money? 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 5 lakhs, even more, 10 lakhs, large amounts of money. They lose it because it is called booking amount or it is called token. And if they have to cancel, sometimes the builder will actually push them to cancel. He will create such a situation, he will create such a rush that they have no choice than to say, boss, we cannot go ahead with the deal, we cannot pay further amounts. And then the builder will put some more pressure on them and say, no, you have to pay or else you are going to have interest. We will be charging you large amounts of interest and all that. So in the end, the person becomes helpless and says, sorry, I cannot continue. We have to cancel. Now, when the word cancel is used, the builder says, oh, in that case, we have to forfeit your token. Now, or rather, you are forfeiting your token. You, the flat buyer, are forfeiting your token because you have chosen not to go ahead. That is a lie. That is an illusion. They have created an illusion. And we, through this channel, have been fighting back. We have been effectively getting 1 or 2 booking amounts refunded every week by different builders. Okay? And we are exerting a pressure on them. Here is one way in which you can exert a pressure on the builder. We have discussed many ways, my friends. One of the ways we have discussed earlier is, in recent days we have discussed this, write a letter, very stern letter to the builder saying, please give me back my money, it is my money. The law does not enable you to take it. Send them some RERA orders which clearly state so many reasonings in citing contract law, citing Supreme Court judgments, citing the RERA Act itself, citing the purpose of the RERA Act, citing the purpose of the competent authority called Real Estate Regulatory Authority, which was created for the purpose of getting justice for the common man, the flat buyer. There are so many reasonings that are given in RERA orders, and I have just chosen 2 or 3 of them, and I have kept repeatedly sending it to people and putting it into public domain and explaining it to people. So one of the ways you can get money back from the builder, one of the arguments or one of the ways you can hammer your point home is to say, escalate this to legal department. You write a proper official letter to the builder. I am happy to share proforma letters to you guys which you can use. Send it to the top man in the organization, in the company, or the middle level management and so on, and tell them, escalate it to legal department. Now this is one method. Let me emphasize another method which I have talked about earlier, much earlier, more than a year ago. I am going to remind you of that method again. Okay? And these are not tips and tricks. These are the fundamentals of your relationship with a builder. They are the fundas. They are the foundation. Okay? Remember this, because similar, these things are applicable in similar situations to various situations of when you are dealing with corporates. It may be when you are an employee of a corporate. It may be when you are an agent of a corporate. It may be when you are a dealer or a distributor or anything. You will find many of these points useful. So here is one more funda of how to get your token back from a builder whom you have given a token, booking amount, etc., but not entered into an agreement. The way to do it is, in a nutshell, you tell them that you find many clauses of their booking, their agreement pro forma to be objectionable and not acceptable. Let me repeat this and let me explain this to you. There is a pro forma agreement that is uploaded on RERA. You can check it out. Most of the time it will be there uploaded on RERA. Few of the times they have not uploaded it on RERA. You can repeatedly send them emails and say, send me the pro forma agreement immediately. Send me the pro forma agreement immediately. Harass them till they send you the pro forma agreement. Send them emails and reminders and do what you like. Make them send you the pro forma agreement. It will be a PDF file, probably, maybe a Word file. Read it carefully. There are many terms and conditions which are not in your favor. There are terms and conditions which are blatantly against you. I will be happy to point out so many of them to you. There are terms and by the way, I already have in many videos, I have pointed out terms and conditions of builders which are extremely adverse to you, which no person in his right mind should ever sign when buying an under construction property. Nobody in his right mind should sign such an agreement. There are so many conditions. There are so many clauses. There are so many waivers and disclaimers. All you have to say is these conditions, these waivers, disclaimers, etc., caveats, these statements, these averments are not acceptable to me because they are not truthful, they are not in my interest, they are unlawful, they are unfair, they are iniquitous, they are unjust, they are taking advantage of your dominant position. You cannot impose these conditions on me. So, delete these conditions. And you then state condition this, paragraph wise. Delete para 10, delete para 12, delete para 12a, 12b, 12c, delete para 15, delete para 17. Give them the reasoning. Give them your full reasoning. Why you have to delete those paragraphs. Full reasoning. Write it all down. I'll be happy to assist you on that. Now, let me guarantee this. The builder does not want to change 1 comma, 1 full stop, 1 sentence in his pro forma agreement, because his entire operation depends on each and every one of you having exactly the same agreement. That is the only way he can defend himself in the eyes of law. He finds it very difficult to defend if one person has one agreement and another person has a different agreement. But on the other hand, it is your right to not sign an agreement unless you are 100% sure of each and every line and word of that agreement. Each and every line, each and every word has to be acceptable to you. That is your inalienable right. It is your right. Now, let me add something to this. Even if the builder is being completely reasonable, it's usually never the case. The agreement pro forma is never reasonable, is never equitable, is never fair to you. But let me give you a sort of a devil's advocate point of view. Even if the builder's pro forma agreement is 100% fair, 100% something that any court of law would declare to be fair and just and right and perfect, it is still your inalienable right to say, I don't accept this condition. I will not accept this condition. And therefore, if you don't delete this agreement, I cannot go forward with the deal and therefore refund my entire amount because you have refused to change the condition. I have not refused to sign your agreement. You have refused to make an agreement draft which is acceptable to me. You can change that agreement draft. You can write in clauses. You can write in new clauses. Why not? You can write in clauses. If he can write in clauses, why can't you write new clauses into it? The builder is exactly on par with you. And you have to make the courts of law recognize that. It is very clear. There is no doubt. Nowhere in the law does it say that the builder has a higher footing than you. Nowhere in the law does it say that a builder is superior to you intrinsically in any way. There is no superiority. He is a company, you are an individual, not a problem. Or you may not be an individual, you may be an HUF. You may be anything. You may be an association of persons. You may yourself have a company. Whatever it is, you are exactly on the same footing as the builder. And if the builder can propose a pro forma agreement, you can also propose a pro forma agreement, or you can introduce clauses into that agreement and say, I want to sign an agreement only if it contains these conditions. And if you do not accept these conditions, these terms, these caveats, these waivers, these disclaimers, whatever you choose to put in, okay? Whatever you choose to put in, if he does not accept it, it is your inalienable right. It is a right that not even a court of law can take away from you. No court of law can force you to sign an agreement with which you are not in 100% agreement. The whole point of the word agreement is that you are 100% on the same page, you are on board for all the terms and conditions. That is the meaning of the word agreement. That is why you sign on each and every page, you initial each and every page, to signify that you are 100% on board. If that is not acceptable to the builder, if your changes are not acceptable, if the deletions that you want to make are not acceptable, if the additions that you want to make are not acceptable, if the modifications that you want to make are not acceptable, then the builder has only one choice in the eyes of law. Refund the money and then go his own way. Refund the entire amount that he has given you. It is not your failure to sign an agreement. It is his failure to accept the changes that you have proposed in the agreement, and you have a right to propose those changes. It is his failure to provide you a proforma agreement which you would sign without reservation. Am I clear? If you have paid a large token to a builder and you want it back, token, booking amount, all the rest of it, all you say is give me your proforma agreement, read the proforma agreement, propose changes in the proforma agreement, propose deletions in the proforma agreement, say you change this para, delete that para, insert this para, and so on and so forth. He will refuse to do it. Naturally, he will refuse to do it. I'll be amazed to find a builder who is willing to change even 2 words in his proforma agreement. Give him a bunch of changes to make. He will not make it. Make the terms more favorable to you. He will not make it. End of the deal. The deal is over. The deal does not exist. He will have to give you back your money. Of course, he doesn't want to give you back your money. So he is going to make an argument out of it. Well, then make an argument out of it. First, we will make that argument in the public domain. And second, you can go to court if you like. You go to RERA, they will uphold you. You go to any court and say, no, he is not willing to make these changes. These are perfectly reasonable changes. Therefore, of course, since you are going to argue in court, make those changes reasonable. Make sure that the changes are reasonable, that's something you can uphold, that's something you can argue, that's something you can stand behind. And your reasoning should be solid. But in theory, even if your reasoning is not solid, it is your inalienable right to propose changes to the agreement. And it is not the builder's inalienable right to make you sign on an agreement with which you are not 100% on board. I hope I have made my point effectively and clearly, and you guys are not in doubt. This is a funda. This is an absolute foundation. Please try to understand this very clearly. If you have any questions, please leave questions in the comments. I'll be very happy to answer them. I'll satisfy each and everyone's arguments and doubts. Now, of course, one of the arguments that will arise is, hey, in this way, nobody is going to be able to be a builder. Nobody can do any business, and so on and so forth. If the business model consists of taking away people's money, then damn right nobody will be able to do any business. Correct? So, if the business model itself is one that is based on dominating, bullying, exploiting the flat buyer, that business model should become impossible. Clear? I hope you guys understand, and as I said, feel free to challenge me, feel free to question me. We can discuss everything threadbare. And to the builder guys who are listening, tell your damn legal teams to talk about this. Why is it that not even one company's legal representative has issued a press release? Why is it that not even your Chamber of Commerce, your NAREDCO and your MCHI CREDI has issued a press release about all this? Why don't they want to discuss this? Can't they make a clarificatory video? Can't we discuss? You don't dare to discuss. That's the problem. You don't dare. You don't want an argument. You want to quietly continue exploiting people, continue taking away people's money, continue calling it forfeit, continue pretending that it's lawful. That's the problem. And that's the problem we are going to address. I'm your friend Krish the Urban Naxal. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan.